It's Charles. I was supposed to make this video with Kirsten, but like, that first video was scheduled in July, like late July. But I wanted to talk about this thing now because this is important, and So my friend, uh, obviously for respect, I'm not gonna say any names or any genders or anything. Let's just call them they. And if I do need to explain it, just let me call her Ashley. Ashley, that's a good name. And she's been having problems. That's fine. We're all flawed human beings, of course. None of our relationships are perfect. None of our personal life, nothing's perfect at all. It's all messed up. No, it's all difficult. And let me just say, go at the pace that you're comfortable with. And let me also say, when you need to, go to a pace that you're not on. Sorry, I just drank a monster. Go to a pace that you're also not comfortable with when it is required. Say, you need to change for the better. Say, you need to put yourself out of your comfort zone, let's say in a school project and, homework and studying and quitting addictions and, you know, because nothing is always easy, right? And people in your life, people pass, There could be people going at this pace, there could be people going at this pace, there could be people going backwards, and that's fine. But you gotta let them pass on their own. And you gotta let yourself pass at your own pace too. Don't let people speed you up. Don't let people slow you down. Don't let people stop you. And that's odd for me to say. Because you know how, like, I always like realism. I don't talk about topics that are cringe, that I find are difficult to understand. And it's odd for me to say don't let anything stop you, because it's really difficult. you know you say don't let anything stop you. Oh, but my friend, oh, but this, but it's really a difficult topic to explain. you know you can't just say and do exactly that. What is said and what is done is different. you know I tell people, like what I'm telling you right now, to go at your own pace. But what am I doing? I'm forcing myself out of my comfort zone, in a good way, I guess. But you gotta let your life play out how it's supposed to. And let me give you advice. You gotta stop thinking about what you could have had and think about what you have right now. My ex broke up with me last month, and I was all, couch potato, didn't do shit, didn't focus on anything else, didn't talk to people. I was so focused and surrounded, like my whole world revolved around her. And sure, now that I think of it, oh, but we could have been doing this now, we could have been doing that now. Shut the fuck up. Why? You know, because you have to realize, even when you think you're lucky in life, you could still lose it. You can still lose things. And she wasn't the best. I wasn't the best either, for sure. As if, like, actually, if anything, I'm worse than what she was to me. That's fine. But you gotta let people pass at their own pace, even if it means losing people, even if it means getting you lost. You gotta let them, man. You gotta let everyone free, you know? And it's also hard for me to say that. And it's realistically, it's just difficult for anything to pass at all. Because you can't just let go of things easily. You know, I I can relate to some people, because I begged, I wanted her to stay. I told her to stay. I told her I'd change. But no, because she left me. She didn't give me any time to fix myself. And why should I go back to her now? Now that I'm better, now that I'm more matured, now that I've learned, why should I go back? You're telling me I go back to someone who made me this. No, they don't deserve it. They don't deserve what they left. You can't just leave someone, expect them to get better, and then come back. It doesn't work like that. This isn't a pre order, okay? You can't just give money, leave, and then just get your receipt. You can't just get the product later. No, it doesn't work like that. People who stay are what matters. People who promised, who tell you what you will be with them in the future. It doesn't matter. What matters is who stayed. Okay. Most of you know, if you know my personal life, I have a few friends, like, and we're not close at all. But just because they stayed, I have been accused. I have been told that I'm rebounding, you know, like romantically with one person in the group. And no, what the fuck? So you're telling me just because they stayed, I'm rebounding? Doesn't make sense, you know. And you have like no right to have an opinion because in the first place, you're the only reason that I'm with them. So why do you have anything to say about them? You know? So I'm telling you, I don't hate people. I don't hate people. I let them go. But don't hate anyone. I let them pass. I let them leave. I let them live my life, you know. And I left them too. You know, I gave them chances, of course. And you know, I'm not a guy like for sure sometimes I'm controlling and possessive, but there's a point that you just have to let go. And even I understand that. And you know, it's difficult. Everything's difficult, you know? There's no way of sugarcoating it. It's just fuck. That's it. It's fuck. Everything's fuck. Right? But you don't, let's say you have all these problems. You don't have to deal with them at the same time. You know? You can do these one by one. Because we are all human. Tao ka? Tao rin ako. We're just the same. You know? We have our own capacities. We have our own limits. And we should abide by that. Of course, you can push yourself. Let's say there's someone in need of it, for sure. Of course, you know, it's no harm to take off sometimes, to break the rules sometimes. But we have our own paces, right? That's what I mean. That's all I have to say. I'm just gonna say, don't hold things so long. Don't hate after what is already done. Don't, just learn from it and let it go and focus on what you're about to get. Focus on what you already have, most importantly. You know, just let go. Breathe, let go, do things at your own capacity, slow down, whatever you need to. Literally, you know, last thing. Let's say it's a family argument, okay? This applies to, of course, mm, my mom, of course. Especially parents, you know. They argue, they blame you, they misunderstand. That's fine. Now, I do that too. Not only parents, of course. Let's say my room was like super messy one day, and my trash can was overflowing, and my mom slammed it down, and then went like, "Oh, your room's a junk," you know, whatever. Yeah, okay, I let it pass, and you know my limit, my capacity. I couldn't fix anything that night because I didn't feel like it. And that doesn't mean I'm lazy. That doesn't mean you're lazy if you're going through that. I literally left the trash on the floor until the next morning. I played with ballad songs. I did my own hobbies. You don't have to do all of this at the same time. You go one by one. And that's fine, you know. And parents, especially. This is like not focused on that topic, but parents, let me help you understand parents. You know how we all are misunderstood by our parents. Think about intention, okay? Cause sure, say and do, they're different things, opposite sides. What they say they're gonna do, what they say their intention is, it's to help, right? It's for your best. But what they actually do, what they execute, it's almost always wrong, right? My mom wants to help me. I have mental health issues, that's no doubt. My mom wants to help me. And even though she doesn't do things properly, think about the intention. Think about what she wants to do. So help them understand what you need for that to happen. Yeah, that's it. I'm just here to tell you guys, you don't always have to keep up, you know. You can be a last place because slow and steady wins the race, right? People speed up and crash. You know, people slow down, they don't even make it. But if you're at your own steady pace, you will make it safely. And it's not always going to be comfortable. Change is never easy. Change is never comfortable. It's almost like putting a square piece into a circle hole. You're gonna force it through. It's gonna break, it's gonna shatter. But eventually it'll fit, right? And that's how life works. Your goals is this circle hole. And you have to force yourself to, you know. So go at your own pace. Go limit yourself, to what you think you can do. Yeah, just live. Just don't. Sometimes you just don't need to give a fuck. You know? Yeah, I hope you guys if you're overwhelmed with something right now, I hope this helps.